I might be a few months behind, but let us compare Jango Fett's starship with Boba Fett's Slave One. Now, I do totally appreciate that everyone and their nan has already done this idea, but I did want to give my own view between these two iconic ships in both of their classic looks. Boba Fett's Slave One was released all the way back in 2015, and it lasted on shelves until 2018. It comes with 1,996 pieces, and also comes with 4 minifigures, with them being a Bespin guard, Boba Fett, a casual stormtrooper, and finally Han Solo, with an additional piece if you want to place him in his Carbonite form. Now, if you wanted to pick this absolute beast of a set back in the day, then it would have only set you back around about £180 during its production, but if you want to get it now, it's going to cost you £340 new if you want to grab it today. Flash forward to the present day 10 years later, and yes, that made me feel so old saying that, and Jango Fett's Firespray class starship was launched for the May 4th event in 2025, and it's most likely going to stay on LEGO shelves until 2027 or maybe 2028 if I had to make a guess, but I'm only saying this because this set was so highly requested because we only had one variation of the Slave One in Jango's colours all the way back in 2002. This original version came with 369 pieces for £45, and if you want to get this particular version of the ship today, it's going to cost you, well, just a small amount, £700 new, but this is purely because of its status of being one of the most iconic retro sets that LEGO has released. This means that obviously the modern day equivalent of the set is by far the better deal, unless of course you are nostalgic of grabbing the classic, because the new version only costs £260 in comparison. Comparing it now to the original UCS Slave One though, Jango's comes with nearly 1,000 pieces more, coming at 2,970 pieces, and unlike Boba's 4 minifigures, this one only gives you 2 minifigures. With Jango Fett's starship, you do get a younger version of Boba Fett, who looks great in my personal opinion, but has had some criticism from fellow LEGO creators and fans alike due to that hairpiece being slightly incorrect for Boba. And finally, Jango Fett, who looks absolutely amazing and comes with a lot of great detail and some nice touches, like him coming with arm printing that really does excel the minifigure. With the overall presentation of the sets, they are of course going to look similar, which makes sense because, well, they're the exact same ship, but Jango's does have that slight upper edge. Granted, this was always going to be expected because, well, 10 years is a long time, and obviously LEGO has discovered different ways in their approach to how they build, which means that Jango's feels and looks more smooth rounded compared to Boba's, which looks more, no pun intended, blocky with its outer design. However, considering the techniques that were around back then, LEGO have done an absolutely fantastic job with both variations of the ship. Just a quick pivot now back to the minifigure front, and I do believe that both UCS models provide one of, if not the best, versions of their respective iconic bounty hunter. Both the Boba Fett and Jango Fett look absolutely amazing, and if you are interested in getting both sets for a collector's perspective, just so you can have them on display front and centre, I would strongly recommend getting both sets, as both of the minifigures and just how the sets look in general together looks bloody epic, whether that's them on display or laid down together. Speaking of the display, both sets come with their own information plaque, which is typical for UCS sets, and there's actually some minor differences between the two sets. For starters, the manufacturer is slightly different, with the Slave One being the Kayat Systems Engineering, while the Starship is the Kayat Drive Yards. In addition to this, the Slave One has one less passenger seat compared to Jango's, while Boba's has a lot more weapons than Jango's. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense considering Boba massively upgraded his father's ship as time has passed on and technology has most likely improved. I'm saying this like flying ships isn't the equivalent of a family car in the Star Wars universe. In conclusion, the Slave One UCS has always been considered in the top 5 Star Wars sets of all time, and the next iteration of the ship was always going to have some extremely high expectations, which I do genuinely believe that the Jango Fett's Firespray Starship has done excellently. It managed to surpass an already excellent set thanks to its modern build techniques that really help elevate the build to a further level by just adding that extra detail to make the ship look better with less gaps between the pieces. And that is my review comparison between the Slave One UCS and the Jango Fett Firespray Starship UCS sets. If you'd like to see more LEGO reviews, then please let me know in the comments below, and make sure to consider subscribing and liking the video if you'd like to see more LEGO content in the future on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.